He was the polished morning hero who commanded a $25 million salary, sat down with presidents and movie stars, and seemed utterly untouchable, until one November morning ripped away the curtain and revealed a darkness no one could ignore. For more than 2 decades, Matt Lauer's warm smile and reassuring tone had greeted America from the Today Show desk. Viewers sipped coffee as he delivered headlines, weather forecasts, and celebrity interviews with disarming charm. But behind the bright lights and flawless production lay whispers of a very different script, one written in off-camera corridors, hushed break rooms, and forced smiles. On set, Lauer was the epitome of professionalism: sharp suit, impeccable hair, a quick wit that made even the driest news digestible. Cameras rolled as he conversed effortlessly with Katie Couric and Curry, Savannah Guthrie, Hoda Kotb, and a parade of world leaders and stars. NBC's morning empire soared in the ratings, advertisers clamored for airtime, and the network's coffers swelled. In boardrooms, executives counted the dollars Lauer generated, and in doing so, they chose willful blindness over uncomfortable truths. Rumors of inappropriate comments, lingering touches, and unsolicited advances drifted through the studio hallways, but no one dared challenge the show's cash cow. Stories circulated quietly: a colleague who felt cornered by Lauer's jokes about her body, a wardrobe fitting interrupted by lingering stares, an offhand remark that felt more threat than banter. These anecdotes were passed along in whispers, shielded by fear of professional retaliation. Behind the scenes, NBC reportedly settled multiple complaints under non-disclosure agreements, ensuring that Lauer's behavior never breached the public facade. For years, the uneasy peace held, until the universe shifted, and a long-dormant complaint refused to be swept away. The turning point traces back to the 2014 Winter Olympics in Sochi. According to the woman who spoke up 3 years later, she met Lauer at the hotel bar after consuming significant amounts of alcohol. Feeling vulnerable and intimidated by his star power, she accompanied him to his suite. There, she says, the encounter became non-consensual. Her detailed complaint, delivered confidentially to NBC executives in late 2017, was meticulously documented: the time, the location, the sequence of events, even the phone records. This was no longer an offhand workplace whisper but an explicit allegation of assault, one that could not be brushed aside. On November 29, 2017, the corporate fortress finally cracked. In a flurry of urgent phone calls and hushed meetings, NBC decided that Lauer's continued presence posed an existential threat. There was no drawn-out investigation, no gradual suspension. Instead, producers informed his co-hosts just hours before airtime that he was gone. As cameras rolled, Savannah Guthrie's voice trembled through live television when she announced his firing for inappropriate sexual behavior. Hoda Kotb fought back tears. Millions of viewers stared in disbelief, grappling with the realization that the man who had become part of their daily routine was suddenly erased. In the days that followed, Today Show clips featuring Lauer vanished from highlight reels. Media outlets dissected every past interview for early warning signs, from lewd questions about Anne Hathaway's wardrobe malfunction to locker room quips about Sandra Bullock's nude scenes. Britney Spears' tearful 2006 interview resurfaced, reframed as yet another instance of invasive, tone-deaf questioning. Meanwhile, additional women came forward, former producers, assistants, and staff members recounting a pattern of coercion. Summoned to his office, pressured to remove clothing, promised career advancement in exchange for sexual compliance, and threatened with professional ruin if they refused. The consensus was unmistakable: an environment of normalized abuse, protected by corporate interests. Beyond Lauer himself, the scandal shattered NBC's reputation. Executives scrambled to reassure advertisers and shareholders that the network was taking decisive action. Internal memos ordered reviews of harassment policies and bans on NDAs covering assault claims. Other networks took heed, quietly auditing their own HR files, strengthening reporting mechanisms, and mandating bystander training. The industry-wide message was clear: the era of protecting high-earning predators at the expense of employee safety was over. In countless newsrooms and studios across the country, power dynamics were being rewritten. Meanwhile, Lauer retreated behind the gates of his Hamptons estate. Stripped of his salary, his social circle evaporated. Former friends stopped returning calls. His marriage to Annette Rowe, once a stable public front, crumbled under the weight of public humiliation and private betrayals, culminating in divorce. In 2019, he attempted to reassert his version of events with an opinion piece that struck a jarringly self-pitying tone rather than genuine remorse. The reaction was swift and brutal. Readers condemned his lack of accountability, and publishers rebuffed his overtures. Unlike other disgraced celebrities who seek redemption through memoirs or podcasts, Lauer chose silence. No comeback trials, no tearful apologies, just an absence that echoed louder than any statement. Public sentiment mirrored this void. Online comment threads brimmed with reactions. relief that victims finally had a public victory, outrage over NBC's decades-long complicity, and from some, lingering disdain for a figure many never liked. A familiar refrain emerged: no one is above the law. Comparisons to Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and Bernie Madoff underscored how Lauer had joined the ranks of notorious men brought low by their abuses of power. Questions lingered about colleagues who paid a price, like Curry, allegedly forced out after supporting staff complaints, while Lauer continued unabated. The consensus: corporate profits had trumped human decency for far too long. In the end, Lauer's fall became more than a personal tragedy or celebrity scandal, it became a cultural landmark. His abrupt firing during the height of the #MeToo movement sent a warning to every corner of entertainment and journalism: money and fame offer no immunity against accountability. The scandal prompted a nationwide reckoning. Newsrooms overhauled their culture, networks revised contracts, and employees gained new confidence to speak out. For survivors of workplace harassment, Lauer's demise represented a long-overdue validation that collective silence has an expiration date, and that courage can indeed topple even the mightiest star. Yet the story remains a cautionary tale about how easily institutions can prioritize profit over people, and how long uncomfortable truths can fester in silence. Today, the empty chair at the Today Show desk and the unused microphone under the studio lights serve as stark reminders of a betrayal we once considered impossible. Matt Lauer's career may be finished, but his downfall endures as proof that no facade is impenetrable, and no trusted voice is beyond scrutiny. In the glare of accountability, power must be earned every day, or risk collapsing in an unforgiving glare.